Hello everyone, welcome to Tony Talks. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching me from. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your like. And if you're a new subscriber here, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss out on our videos. Yes, let's dive into this. Today's video is going to be, let's watch it right now. Thank you. I'll see you in my next video. Stay safe, stay blessed. I love you all. Bye.
And it's just once in a blue moon. Amoire Henry, good evening, my please. People on Facebook, kindly help me to share. I just came back from work. I don't have the stamina for too long. So let me just try and do this. There was this video I posted. I want us to talk about it. It's a video that is talking about marriage. And if you look at my topic, I said marriage with the new generation. I would say the modern day marriage. I'm not talking of my generation marriage. I'm not talking about our mother's marriage, but we'll bring something out of it too. There was this video a lady did that went, I don't know if it went viral anyway, but somebody sent it to me and I reposted it. And I was asking people's opinion on that video. Before I go on, I want us to listen to that video. YouTube people, you miss it. I was supposed to post it on YouTube. Or did I? Did I post it on YouTube? Let me check. I was supposed to post it on YouTube too, so that we can talk on it. Let me check. I'm on my YouTube page. No, I only posted the Ghana pastors something. I did not post it. I just saw it when you posted. Okay. I'm going to play the video for us to see. Orumumi. The weather is very hot now. So let's listen to the lady, and so I don't waste our time. So for those who don't know, the video was sent to me by somebody. I think it was on social media, and somebody sent it to me and said, Aunty, talk about this video. It's talking about, the lady was actually talking about, in response, this man has blocked me, so I can't see what triggered her to do that video. Mike Bamiloye, Pastor Mike Bamiloye, the man has blocked me. When I went to his page to go and ask him some questions, he blocked me. So I don't know what triggered her to make that video, but she said some things that I asked people to talk on, and I was seeing different comments, funny comments, valid comments, invalid comments. So, but let us listen to this lady first. Then we go on.
And all the errands and all the activities around.
Hold on, see me. I want you to start from the beginning. Okay.
In this world to take care of men. We didn't come into this world.
Hold on, I want you to actually start from the beginning. The beginning, pata. Yeah.
We have a crisis in this country. Women are not in this world to take care of men. We didn't come into this world to take care of all the children and all the errands and all the activities around the house. I am tired of a society that continue to push this narrative. Yesterday, Pastor Mike Bamiloye posted a long epistle of, how women today are not prepared for marriage, and he has this advice. 95% of the advice was for women and 5% was for men. You know what? We have women in this country that are over-prepared for marriage. That was all we heard all of our lives. No one is telling this to men. No one is telling men that they need to take care of their home, that they are the head of the family, and that women are just helpers. If I'm the helper, why am I the one doing all the work? If my role in the house is a helper, if my role in the church is a helper, then it means the lion's share is for the man. So why is it that we have a society that has placed the lion's share of the burden of the home on women who you claim are helpers? And the man gets to walk freely. Suddenly men come into marriages and they forget how to do anything. It's like, how did you exist before you met me? How is it that you were cooking and cleaning and running your own errands and suddenly you come into what is supposed to be your own home, your most important organization, the place that is yours? Suddenly you cannot lift a finger. You are waiting on your wife to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. She's the same person that is going to feed the children. She's the same person that is going to go buy all the groceries, cook all the food, wash all the clothes, and pay attention to what is happening in the school, what is happening to you, what is happening in your life. And she's also the one that should, make herself available to you at your beck and call. I mean, we need to stop this mess. And the church is the one furthering this nonsense in this country. And so I'm calling on all pastors, get your act together. Because your sons are going to be left at the altar or they will be left behind. Because my daughters, I'm not raising my daughters to sort your sons out. Sort them out before they come to my daughters because they'll be kicked right back to you. This nonsense really needs to stop. Why is it that men become incompetent and invalid the minute they get married? Are y'all okay? Get yourself together, please.
All right. So this lady put out this video and I put it out there. And I can see somebody on Facebook saying, is it by force to marry? Aunty Adunni, it's good to see you. Ekabo. Somebody says, is it by force to marry? It is not by force to marry. And I'm fine, Aunty Tokwe. I'm very fine. Tell them not to get married. Okay. Either to get married or not to get married is individual decision. But I'm just looking at the points she made. And, I put it out there. And I said, I wanted people's opinion on it. That I want us to debate it. I'm going to read out some comments that I saw that really caught my fancy. Now we are talking about, remember the person talking is one of the newest generation that is talking. Okay. Our own generation, we were trained, even our parents' generation, we were trained to be the one to take care of the home fronts. Whereby they will say, Ile Okoya, and they will say, Toba de Ile Oko, this is what you will do. This is what you will do. This is what you will do. In those days, nobody called a man to say, you are going to get married. Though. Even the fathers that were there in the marriage, that were in a marriage, we never called the men to tell them, as you are getting married, or this is how you have to deal with women, or whatever. They just allow us to flow and we move on. And what do we have today? Especially my generation and generation after me. So I'm talking about the people in the 50s and people in their 40s. What do we have now? We have a crisis, like she said. Divorce is on the high rise among us. People are divorcing anyhow. And at the end of the day, what do we have? We have a lot of men coming on social media and saying, men are being abandoned in old age. Men are being abandoned in old age. Men are this. Men are this. Men are going through a lot. I did a video of recent, a few days ago, where I said, when there is divorce, a woman, sometimes they move on and they start enjoying life after divorce. Most times, except a woman who does not have a job. A woman who has a job, who has her children already, trust me, most of them are very comfortable. Good greetings, my brother Mike. Nana. Trust me, most times are comfortable being a single mother, and except if they don't have the money. If they have money, they will be like they are out of stress. And what do we have? We have a man who will feel like, I want to go more me. They have taken my children. I don't have access to my children again. Blah, 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 at the end of the day. Most times, at the end of the day, a man is finding it so difficult to have access to their children and everything after marriage they scatter. Now, this lady came out and said something. She said, Mike Bamiloye is fond of putting, anytime he's talking, is fond of saying, women this, women this, women this. And she said what she saw, 90%, 95% was all about women, women, women. That doesn't mean a man does not have any other responsibility in the house other than putting the money down. And every other thing in the house is about the woman and the woman alone. Now, this is where a lot of people could comment down. Let me read one or two comments, then I will now say what I want to say. Hey, Nisuru. And I will now say what I want to say, Somebody said, I have been saying this exact thing. I am not going to raise my daughter to become anyone's slave. Neither will I raise my son to be incapacitated at the mention of marriage. If they don't change, many will grow lonely. The girl child is now being prepared for life, not for marriage. Gone are those days where women were only defined by marriage. That comment is one of the comments I found very useful for this content we are going to do now. Now, another person said, hey, can you stop? Okay. That person said that. Another person said, I will be happy to do all the housework of the woman if the woman can pay all the house rent, all the school fees, all the feeding money, and all the bills that come to the family, all of which the society and women regard as men's responsibility, and which most men fulfill, except very few of them. For that comment, that was in those days. This particular comment is still long ago, but this part I've just read is in those days, where a man is allowed, is the only one who carries all the bills of the house. In this generation, we all know it is not the same thing anymore. It is not the same. Gone are those days. Now, the person went forward and said, since the lady is talking about modern times, she also needs to know that it has become fashionable for women to decide to be single parents. What stops her from opting for single parenting so that she can enjoy all the freedom she deserves? I think she's been misquoted here as wanting freedom. This is where most of our men, they don't listen to really know what a woman is trying to put forward. She was not talking about wanting to be single. She was talking about the home. Okay? And this thing stemmed from where we were told as a woman that a wise woman build a house. They said build a house with wisdom. They didn't tell us. Most of these Bible verses were quoted out of context for us by telling us that a woman, they mentioned wisdom. They never said a woman has to do the washing. She has to be the one to do the washing all the time, the cleaning, the taking care of the children, the taking care of food, the taking care of the husband, like the husband does not have hand and leg. They didn't tell us. So automatically, we all thought going into marriage means a woman has to, even some men, their women will be the one to even pick their socks wherever they throw it. Thank you for the stars. Thank you for everybody giving me a star. I wasn't looking. Thank you for the star. The way we were brought up, my generation and the generation immediately after me. So I'm talking about the people in their late 40s and people in their 50s. We were brought up to think in the home front, you have to do everything. Now, times have changed. I will still continue. So this man that said, one of my brother here, Osa, that said, what stops her from opting for single parenting? She was not talking about single parenting. And trust me, most men, you are getting it wrong. You are thinking women of this generation, when they become single mother, they will not cope. You are getting it wrong. Nancy, I'm fine. So that person went on. He said, in these modern times, there is also room for her to take to same-sex marriage. If she's already married, she can divorce her husband and go for a fellow woman. This will give her the gender equalizer. To me, she's not asking for gender equalizing here. She's asking that in this present generation marriage, where a lot depends on the man and the woman to move and propel the family to greater success, the woman and the man are necessary to work together as a team. But my men, I say my men, our men, Nigerian men, does not want to hear that. So let's continue. She said, I'm speaking for men who pay all the bills. I am glad this man is saying, I am speaking for men who pay all the bills. How many men in this present generation now, both home and abroad, are paying all the bills? Now, you are talking about paying all the bills. What about the needs of the woman? Are you taking care of her needs as you are paying all the bills? Because a lot of men, this is why a lot of women have become what they are, and you say women are now bitter. Now, a lot of men, what they do is to pay the bills of the house. They only pay the bills, and they forget that that particular woman still have her own need. Some of us were lucky. Okay, you need the broker's money, broker's number. Mortgage broker is on my Facebook. I posted it today. I don't have it on this phone. I posted it today. Or you can inbox me on my WhatsApp once I'm done. Now, some of us were lucky. Somebody like me was lucky in my first marriage. When I got married and my husband was like, I don't want you to work because of the children. He was taking care of the bills. Apart from taking care of the bills, I was lucky he was giving me personal allowance for me to do whatever I want. Not only that, he asked me what I could be doing that can be any money without going from the house. How many men are doing this? So thereby, despite being a full-time housewife, I was still earning some money without having to go out. So in that one, I don't have any reason to complain. You know, even at that, even when he comes back home, I remember in those days, he will carry all the children and take them away. Maybe drive away and say I should rest before he comes back. How many men are doing this? Because he knows definitely I've been up and down with the children. They were still very young. They were babies. No sitting down. To be a full-time housewife is very, very demanding, especially when the children are very young. Most men will just think because you are a full-time housewife, you are not doing anything. And they would just forget the woman. That is why most women, when divorce comes, they lose out at the end of the day. Now, my question to you and I, as a parent, how many of us have girl children and you want your girl children to live the same way their mothers have lived with you? How many of us want, when our children as females that we have trained through school, to go and marry without having their own job? I will still go back to that. So let's read the comments. So this man said, however, if the woman is paying the bills instead of the man should do the house chores. If he can't do the house chores, he should go and hire hands that will do it for him. Shetiri and your Okunrin wa, you are kind of, you only think, sorry to say, but it's the fact. Now, when it now comes to if he cannot do it, so what stops a man hiring house help for the children, for the home fronts too? During my own time, I had a house help. Despite having house help, I'm still giving time to rest. And I was still doing business inside the house. That was what propelled me at that time. I started baking in the house. How many men do this? Now, remember we are talking about the Gen Z generation, the new generation, the generation of today, that you and I are their parents. Our men, we all know, and some of us as parents today, we mistakenly carry that same attitude in raising our children. We focus on the girl children alone, thinking the girl children should be the girl child should be the only one working in the house. We focus on them and tell them, Ile oko ma lo nlo, Ile oko ma lo nlo. And the boy child feels that all he has to do, because he's a boy, he doesn't have to do much. All he has to do is to go and work and bring in the money. Meanwhile, we are training this girl child. They go to school. We are training them to go to school to be somebody in life too. Right? Now, how many of us as parents are praying that after these children have gone to school, I'm talking about our girl children now. After they have gone to school, how many of us pray that those children should take their certificates to go and be a full-time housewife? That is a very big question we should think of now. Now, I am not talking of our own generation, but I will take it back to our generation. Our generation and the one after me, and I think the one after us a little bit, were trained to tend to their man, to be a servitude to their man, to be a kind of, yes, Oga is back, my husband is back. That is what they were trained to be, right? Now, many of them now relocate abroad. By the time they relocate abroad, little wonder, immediately they relocate abroad, they divorce. Little wonder, immediately they relocate abroad, the once beautiful, comfortable family back home now becomes a family that will be torn apart. Have you ever thought about it, that what could be the reason? This is one of the reasons. Where a man, because it is what is used to back home in Nigeria, you now relocate. After relocating, the man now feels that is how we do it back home. And meanwhile, in abroad, the man alone cannot pay the bills. We all know that. If he wants to be the only one to pay the bills and make the family live good, that means there will be, he may not have anything to save, or he may not have anything to prepare for his old age if he has to do it alone. And another thing, here, at the end of the day, the woman too has not come to abroad to come and live in the shadow of the man. The woman will be like, myself, make I work now. So by the time the woman is working, the man is working. Now, dear wahala, they start. The woman has gone to work maybe 12 hours. The man has gone to work maybe 16 hours. Both of them will come back. By the time the woman is coming back, she still has to tend to the children because, of course, women do this better than men. So she still has to tend to the children. In the process, she's expecting that her man, that they both went out together and they are back. She's expecting at least the man to lend a helping hand a little bit. But because the man feels, though it doesn't work like that in abroad though, please help me to show love. Kilo nshele si page mi. Something is wrong. Help me to show love and share, please. I'm talking about Facebook. Something is wrong with the Facebook page. Kilo nshele. Help me to love and like. Àbáwọn ọkùnrin náà, ọkùnrin máa ń report mi tí bá ń ṣe show. Ṣé kìí ṣe pé ẹ report mi ẹ̀yin ọkùnrin? You have done it for me before. There was a day I did a show concerning men that you reported my page. Don't do it this afternoon. Don't do it for me, okay? If what we are talking about now does not concern our generation, it's concerning more of the generation that is coming. It's coming for the incoming generation. The children, that's your child that will soon go and marry. That's your son that will soon go and marry. That's my daughter that will soon go and marry. This particular talk that this lady made, the statement, the video is meant mainly for them. Because already, our own generation, we know what is happening. A lot of women are now comfortable to be a single mother than to be with a man that will overuse them. So it has come to the, so this lady made this video and put it out there, you know, and there was diverse opinion. Somebody said there was a particular man. Let me look for that up here in comments. The man made a comment and I was like, wow, this is coming from a man. I'm coming, I will look for it. Okay, this person said this is a traditional talk. Both men and women work for sure. Get a house help, please. That is where you can get house help. What about in a country that you can't get house help, like abroad, if you have to relocate as a couple? Now, he went forward and said, and the church doesn't preach this as she puts it. There are lots of good marriage counselors and teachers within the body of Christ. Modern women should not marry a traditional man, period. She made a lot of general assumption. The truth is that both sides working today, the West has influenced culture a lot. It is not the West. Education is from the West. What we should say is that a lot of women today are being educated. A lot of women today, a lot of younger ones are being educated today. So it's all about the world revolving. I know we have traditional things, but take it or leave it. Your son, my daughter, your daughter are not going to marry a traditional man. You have not trained your son or your daughter at the end of the day to go to the village and go and pick one in the Diamaka, or to go to the village and pick one Jennifer. We all know that. We have trained them to be able to stand at par with their counterparts in the world. That is why we have trained them. So are we saying because it has come to the issue of marriage, they should not marry? For those of you that are saying they should not marry now, you are forgetting you will have a girl child too. You forget you have a girl child. Are you saying your own girl child should go and marry somebody in the village so that she can have a home? Who tell you that if your child marries somebody from the village, or maybe you will not educate your child, your girl child, so that she can go and marry, so that she can have a marriage? How about that? Maybe you should not even train your girl child, so your girl child can have a marriage. So that your girl child can have a marriage. If you think traditional people do it better, then don't train your daughter through school. So that when it is time to marry, because you want her to have marriage, she can marry a traditional man. That way, they can blend. But if she's educated, her husband is educated, you train her through school. And you know why I will support this, what this lady said. Many of my generation after me, because they sacrificed their time for the family, they put everything for the family. At the end of the day, when there is breakup, who loses? They lose. They lose at the end of the day. The woman will leave the home, will be driven off the home, or if she's to divorce, she will go empty-handed. And that is why we have a lot of single mothers that are not training their children very well, because they don't have the resources to. Why? Because they've been sit-at-home mothers, taking care of the children, and the home front, and the man. Now, this person went on and on, but that's not the particular. You see, almost all the men, only very few men, spoke nicely to this lady. Almost all the men. One thing I see with our Nigerian men, take it or leave it. You may not like me for this. You have this self-entitlement thing. And that entitlement thing is that once you marry a woman, she has become your slave. Once you marry a woman, she has become your property. Once you marry a woman, you will say because you pay the bride price, because you put this one down, you put all that down. So are you saying you marry her to overuse her? Are you saying you marry her to make her stressed? Are you saying you marry her and once you marry her, she does not have any right anymore, or she does not have to rest because she has married you? All right, let's go on. There is a particular, almost all the men. But funniest thing, this same our men, when they go to marry Onyibo, we see how they treat the Onyibo. We see how they pamper the Onyibo. They will never treat Onyibo the way they treat our women. Why do you marry Onyibo? And despite the fact that you are paying bills, your boy is paying bills in the house, how come you still help Onyibo to do house chores? I'm asking, how come when you marry Oyinbo, when you marry Oyinbo, by the time you marry Oyinbo, what you do with Oyinbo is different from what you do with us. When you marry Oyinbo, you do things together as a teamwork. You do things together as a family. If you have to do laundry, you do laundry together. If you have to do the plates, you do it together. If you have to take care of the children, it's either she's at work, you are taking care of the children. If she's around, you do it together. Why do you treat them differently to the way you treat our own people? It's a question you should ponder on. Because all the men came for this lady. I'm coming. There is a particular message, comment. I really love that comment. And it was written by a man. I want to read it out. I'm coming. Let me do all comments. I'm looking for it. I don't know where the comment is hiding. Somebody said, a man, one Ajakaye Gbenga Samuel. He said he's a man. He said, she's making a lot of sense. Some men just automatically turn handicap the moment they marry. Things they do without stress suddenly becomes undoable again. What is wrong with doing this while she does that? You see why marriages today is like it's not working. No, marriages are working where they are working as a team. Marriages are not working. We never work because the woman of yesteryears is not the woman of today. One thing with you Africans, African men, is that you are, and it will be unfortunate if the younger ones or some of us parents are training our boys the way our husbands and our fathers were trained. To be that when the woman is doing this, she has to still do that. She will do this, she has to still do that. And the man will sit down and be watching cartoon. And the woman has gone to work too. It is not as if she's not working. Trust me, she will come at you and vent seriously. And you will wonder what you have done wrong. You will never be able to see. This is not the dispensation. We have to train our boy. Train our boy children. Their wives are not the way you people were trained. The way I was trained. No, I refuse to train my own children that way. And thank God for some things, the kind of children I have. They will tell me anybody can do the work. It has to be either a man or the woman. No work in the house is meant for a woman. No work in the house is meant for a man. As long as both of you are living in that house. I don't care if you pay bride price. Like that lady, I will not bring my own daughter up to go and be a slave in somebody's house. No. She's a team member wherever she has to go. The same way my boy children, I train them. They are team member with their wives. I don't care how much they are spending for the woman. They are team member. They are working together. Right in my house here, one of my sons that is grown up, when the girlfriend come, I see them. The girlfriend will sit down. He will cook for the girlfriend. Or they do it together sometimes. Or the lady is doing it at times. That way, that is teamwork. Who told you? When you were in your parents' house, don't you work in your parents' house as the boy? As a boy child? Don't you clean up? Who is the Olori Oko? The man is still head of the family. Being the head of the family does not mean the man would become handicapped once he gets married. He's the head of the family to steer the ship of the house in other areas. Kì í ṣe wípé when it comes to what we have to make the house comfortable and put less stress on that woman. Ṣé wọ́n dá obìnrin pé káyé kóbìnrin ṣe wàhálà kù? That is why you see women, they get older than men. She will be the one to carry pregnancy. Ibi tí ọkùnrin míì tiẹ̀ tún ní ọ̀dájú dé, with pregnancy, the woman will still be the one going up and down. In pregnancy, the woman will still be the one going to the market, even without car. In pregnancy, the woman will still be with another child, though. The man will still come back and still expect the woman to come and serve him. Ẹ fẹ́ pa obìnrin ni. I saw a lot of men. So this man went on, he said, the entitlement on the part of our men. This is a man talking. The man said is too much. Àṣegun ọkùnrin náà pọ̀. That is what made àwọn obìnrin of this generation tó fi dájú. The man now said, however, some men are typically LAZY when it comes to home front responsibility, even before marriage. It starts from where they are coming from. Because unconsciously we parents put burden on the girl child and allow the boy child to be roaming the house doing nothing. You want to cook, we call the girl child. We want to do the something, it's girl child we will remember. Including myself, I make that mistake too. We want to do this, it's the girl child we remember. And that boy child is in the house, playing game, doing other stuff. And we say, Obinrin ló máa lọ́kọ. This Gen Z generation, either in Nigeria or in abroad, and that is why you see the new generation of ladies that once they have 1 or 2 children, it is very easy for them to divorce. You can say, come and divorce. Trust me, go and look at the likes of May Edochie. Lẹ́yìn tó bímọ mẹ́rin tán tọ́kọ ẹ̀ fẹ́ ṣe wọ̀tọ̀wọ̀tọ̀. Kí ló ṣe? Àti divorce was not tough for her. She quickly went to the say, I will not agree with this one. And she filed for divorce. Who is enjoying? Go and look at them, both of them. As she is now, her children are all grown up. She's not running around to cook for any man again. It doesn't mean she doesn't have a man in her life. She might not make the man public. I don't know why you men feel pé tóbìnrin bá ti fobìnrin lẹ̀ kò lè lọ́kùnrin mọ́. All these women that you think are single mothers, they have somebody in their lives. They might not make it public. At least some of them. Not all of them are lonely. They would rather prefer to stay as they are and enjoy their peace. We have to, you see all this stereotyping, we have to stop it. Take it or leave it. The new generation is moving out of it. And we have to prepare our boy children to move along. Gone are the days where you would think something is for a man as not for a woman. Is the man not staying in the house? Is the man not using things in the house? And you will expect the woman to wake up, dust everywhere in the house, clean all the floor, clean all the TV, where we will make food, wash clothes, fold the clothes, and you are at home. You are not going anywhere. And you feel is her duty. After all, you have gone to work. You are forgetting she went to work too. Not only went to work, she's taking care of the children. You would think some of the men think they are the one putting all the money down. Even if you are putting all the money down, if you want peace, you still have to lift a finger to some extent in that house. Consider that woman to be your daughter. Funny enough, you men, you love your daughter so much. Emma like our Obinrin gan. How will you feel that all the stress, your daughter that was looking very beautiful when she got married, by the time you will see her, she's looking lean, she's looking shrinking. Meanwhile, her husband is looking fresh, is looking chubby. We all see this kind of cartoon that they bring out, that when before a man got married, now like this then go be. Immediately then gets married, they start becoming chubby. While the woman, ọmọ bíbí ló ń jẹ́ kóbìnrin sanra. So it's not gbogbo oúnjẹ gidi. Naturally, a woman that has belly go hard weight. But you will see she's looking older. Voila, stress in it. Now, that man went forward. As the man said, as for me, I have lost count of the number of times I cook for my woman, help her sometimes with the chores, and it's the stress of going to buy groceries. It doesn't change the fact that I'm the man of the house. I so much love that man. That man's comment. In fact, I would say it's the best comment because it's coming from a man. But majority of the men on that post, one yabo lady yeni. Now, I'm going to go back onto the video. Where's that video?
We have a crisis in this country.
I don't know where she's coming from. We are Nigeria.
In this world to take care of men. We didn't come into this world.
The lady said women are not in this life to take care of men in this world. You won't believe some men will even say they see their women and they'll be like, you are going to be taking care of me. Your hand is caught, Sini. I've been at your leg caught. That the woman is coming to take care of you. No, she's not coming to take care of you. You are both coming to take care of each other. No. Just as you need taking care of, she needs taking care of too. Folana Injawa, are you my sister? As you are taking care of her, she's taking care of you, she needs taking care of too. So no woman is going to marriage to be Mother Teresa. Abikino Makwe. No, she's not going to that marriage. She's not going to marry a baby. She's going to marry a full-grown man. She's not going into that marriage to marry an handicap. She's going into that marriage to marry a full-grown man that should still take care of his own needs to some extent. Women are not created to take care of you. Once you marry a woman, you marry each other to take care of each other.
All the errands and all the activities around the house. I am tired of a society that continue to push this narrative. Yesterday, Pastor Mike Bamiloye posted.
God bless you, Anyanwu Tutu. Somebody said that is because most Nigerian men see marriage as doing women a favor. And that is why you will see women, you can call them users. You will see women, ton ba ti gbomo meji lára yín, ton ripeti ba won ton mo yen de stage kan, you will see them if they see wípé you refuse to change and you are stressing them too much. It is easy for them to divorce. Women, especially we black women, we are not created to be a mother to children and still be a mother to a full-grown adult. Your mother is different. Even your mother, your own mother, to be as a man. You will not expect your mother to come and still take care of you as an adult, right? So why will you now expect? Pé ìyàwó ló máa take care. Tó bá ṣe ń take care àwọn ọmọ, you will still take care of other things. All you have to do is to just put money down and waka go. Ara nǹkan tí wàhálà ṣe ń wà. See, marriages if you didn't cut to feed the kini láàrin wa nìyẹn. And once the women say they have children already and the children are take wọ́n ya palẹ̀ mọ́ wọ́n láwọn ò ṣe mọ́.
Of how women today are not prepared for marriage, and he has this advice. 95% of the advice was for women and 5% was for men.
The same way we do at home, the same way parents do. We concentrate on the girl child, 90%, stressing the girl child, and the boy child, they become somebody who does not even know that their socks, so they have to pick it. Their shirt, so they have to pick it. You see a lot of married full-grown men, till I'm talking, in their 50s, in their 60s, they will remove clothes. Some baba shen wole no mama bosho, ìyàwó ló ṣe mama pick here. You go they pick am one by one. Now the woman, where don't they work? They take care of children before he come back, cook food and everything. Go they pick the clothes one by one for him to tidy up the place so that he will not untidy the house. Am I lying? Some men are like that. I know somebody that the husband is like that. Immediately the man is coming back. Living room to ba jókòó sí ló máa bọ́ socks sí. Living room to jókòó sí ló máa bọ́ bàtà sí. It is the wife that will pack it. He will leave everything there. You are not doing women a favor. And that is why you will continue to call them users. Because it will get to a stage. Afeni tó bá tọ́mọ ẹ̀ dáadáa, your boy children. Train your boy children to appreciate women and see them as team worker, as a teammate, not somebody ẹrú wọn. Obinrin ò ṣẹrú.
We have women in this country that are over-prepared for marriage. That was all we heard all of our lives.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni. Remember in the days of our parents, in the days of àwọn baba wa, remember they don't work. Remember the men, they farm. The women follow them to farm. Right? And demand on them was not that much. They don't live in big houses. Remember? And they have many children. So sometimes the first child and the second child become premature parents. And they help their mother along the line. But this generation, remember you want your children to concentrate on their studies too. Right? The children that she has for you, you want them to concentrate on their studies. So you won't buy share le mara one more because they have homework. Even nursery school children, see how they come with homework from school. So is it the children that is coming from school with a lot of homework? Is it that one that the mother wants to call and say, oh yeah, leave your homework and go and do it and come and help me here? The woman will say, go and do your homework. In the process of cooking, she's still monitoring the homework with the children. This lady said, if you like, listen. If you don't listen. I know some men, especially those older men. And your Okunrin tẹ́tí dàgbà. They were in your 50s, in your 60s. Wọ́n ti tọ́ yín bó ṣe máa tọ́ yín. Òun ló fi jẹ́ pé majority yín ṣe ń complain nsìn. Ó pẹ̀lú. Ẹ ti stress obìnrin títí tọ́n bá rí pé wọ́n ti dàgbà. Wọ́n yà sá lọ. They will tell you they are going to do omugo. When they go for omugo, tontiri relaxation after taking of baby, it's just for them to sit down and be watching TV. There will be food for them. They will sleep and wake up when they like. They will now sit down at omugo. They will not bother to come back. That is why you see a lot of women, the ones that are older than us and our generation, once they see opportunity of omugo, wọ́n yá lọ jókòó pa síbẹ̀, because nobody will stress them where they have gone to do omugo. Bàbá òde bá dẹ̀ wá nílé kó má lè dáná problem ẹ̀ nìyẹn. It doesn't concern them. Bàbá ò bá dẹ̀ wá nílé kó gbọ́mọge kò kàn wọ́n mọ́ at that time. Pé wọ́n ló dẹ̀ mọ̀. Bàbá ò bá dẹ̀ wá nílé kó fẹsẹ̀ kọ kò kàn wọ́n mọ́. Nǹkan tó what they are after is that àwọn rí sinmi. At least they can rest. At least they can sleep when they like. At least they can wake up when they like. That is why you find a lot of women, Tombati was single for so long and they have enjoyed this freedom we are talking of. Most women don't want to remarry. You think they want to? No, they don't want to remarry. Because they have tasted that freedom, that peace, that stressless life. They cook when they want to cook. Nobody will say, there are some men, they will tell you, they cannot eat the soup of yesterday. You have to cook a new food. There was somebody I used to know, he say, you have to I've read it. There, you see some women, when they divorce, some people wonder, she won't rock on it. They see men, some people will say, they prefer their peaceful life. Oh, they eat whatever they like. I know somebody that will say, the wife has to cook new food every day. And Emi Ojo be new freezer. I don't want to eat the food inside freezer. A woman will now see opportunity to be free from that. And she goes to her children's house. She will sit down there. That is why a lot of women are sitting tight when they go to do omugo. You want to eat daily food. You don't know how to go to the store and buy it, even if she has to cook it. You are coming from work. You don't know how to branch at the store and help her to buy the food stuff. She the one you will still call. On your way, buy me food stuff. On your way, I want to eat fresh fish today. That soup of yesterday that you brought from the freezer, I don't want it. It has lost taste because it has tasted too much in the freezer. So on your way back, buy fresh fish. And you were coming from that way. You cannot go and buy fresh fish and buy it. And when she come back, let her go and cook it. That's where you have divided the labor. But a lot of men will not do that. They would rather she goes to the market and still be the one to cook it. As easy as it is, most of you men, as easy as cooking is, especially men abroad. Maybe in Nigeria, there is a lot of buka that you can branch and cook. In abroad, most of these men, they can't cook. What they do is to go and buy soup up and down. All the African caterers, now them be their customer. How many women they go buy their food? There was a day I was hungry on the road. I said, make I branch, buy food at one African restaurant. Now, so men, they enter. So men, where they come buy soup on that day. Now they look there and say, Shayo, niyawo nle ni. Aunty, am I worry? I say, look at them. Ìyàwó ti sá lọ mọ́ yín lọ́wọ́. You cannot cook. You cannot cook. How many women you they see where they go buy soup for store? How many women you they see where they order food? Ẹ̀yin ọkùnrin lẹ ń jẹ́ kí àwọn olóúnjẹ tà. Ẹ̀yin ni.
No one is telling men that they need to take care of their home, that they are the head of the family, and that women are just helpers. If I'm the helper, why am I the one doing all the work? If my role in the house is a helper, if my role in the church is a helper, then it means the lion's share is for the man. So why is it that we have a society that has placed the lion's share of the burden of the home on women,
on the women
helpers? And the man gets to work freely. Suddenly men come into marriages and they forget how to do anything. It's like, how did you exist before you met me? How is it?
Were you not a bachelor at a point before you meet your wife? You never live the life of bachelor to cook your food by yourself. Even if it is Indomie, to mix concoction and everything. Shobini waye yani. Somebody just said now, there is a comment. Somebody says some men close from work early and get home before their wives, but will still wait for their wives who closes late to still come and do the cooking. What stops you from helping to cook? We have to train our generation. They have laid a bad foundation for us. And somebody was like, Mike Bamiloye trained his own children. They don't do that. Wait until Mike Bamiloye's children will travel abroad. Reason why our people when they travel abroad, their homes are scattering is one of this. This is one of the reasons. Whereby a man will think, Okunrin mi ò lè lọ sí kitchen. Okunrin, this is not my job. But meanwhile, both of them are pulling it. Some pulling double. Maybe the wife, if he's even pulling double, the man will still expect the woman. Òun ló máa ro iyán lẹ̀, ló máa ṣe jollof lẹ̀, tó máa share everything. Only one day tó bá máa free, she will be the one to cook everything.